So in this session we will see what is the about model 3 second portion, that is friction. So friction, types of friction, limiting friction, laws of friction, static and dynamic friction. So and impending motion on horizontal and inclined plane, wedge friction, ladder friction. So this is the next portion of the model 3. So till now in the model 3 what we have done is we have done with finding out what is this support reaction, how to find out support reaction, types of support, and type of loading was the first portion of this model 3, and the next half portion of the model 3 is about purely about friction, type of friction, and then impending motion, the things that are related to friction in the are say in the second half portion of this model. So now we will start with this friction. So first of all, we will start with the frictional force. So what is a frictional force? Force which opposes the motion of a body in any direction. It acts in a direction opposite to that in which the body tends to move. It develops between any two contact surfaces. So this is the frictional force. So let us take a table here. Okay. Let us consider a table over which a square box is placed, right? This is the square box having weight W. Because of this weight there is an because of this table is a support, right? Because of this a support reaction develops here. I will call that support reaction as R, right? This is the self weight acting downward, and support reaction develop is upward in the direction. Now what I will do, I will apply a force F in this direction. Due to application of force, this body will not move, or this body will not start to move. The body remains at straight at rest even after application of this external force. That is because between this box and the table, these are two contact surfaces, there is a frictional force developed between these two contact surfaces, and this frictional force will be exactly opposite in direction in which the force is applied to move. This, if a force is applied to, then this is the direction of motion of this body. But what happens, this frictional force, they will resist the motion of the body in the motion of the body in that direction. This is the frictional force. So see here, this frictional force is developed. It develops between any two contact surfaces. There are two contact surfaces, right? One is table and one is box. These two are the contact surfaces. Force which opposes the motion of the body in any direction. See, if I apply force in this direction, the frictional force develop in this opposite direction and it stops the motion of the body. And if I, let us take the same thing here. If I apply load in this direction, or if I apply force in this direction, the frictional force developed will be in this direction and it opposes the motion of the body in negative x direction. So in both the direction, in any direction it opposes. These are the two contact surfaces. Force which opposes the motion of the body in any direction, it acts in a direction opposite to that which the body tends to move. See here, body is tending to move in this direction, so frictional force will be acting opposite to this direction of motion. Here the body is tending to move in the positive x direction, and the frictional force developed is in the direction of a negative x-axis direction. So this is all about the frictional force. In this manner, the friction plays an important role. That is, till now what we have done drawn free body diagram and other things. There all in all those cases we have assumed the surfaces are smooth. That is, there is no frictional force developed between the body and the support. But here we are considering the friction, that is the resistance developed in between the two surfaces when an additional force is applied to move an object is called as a frictional force. Next, we will go for types of friction. So first one is a static friction. I will explain this is static friction here. So let us take over a surface. This is a flat surface. This is straight, right? Right. Now it is straight. Okay. This is a flat surface over which let us take a body of weight W Newton is placed here. Because of this support, there is a support reaction R will be developed normal to the support. This body is at rest. Okay, this body is at rest. Now what I will do, I will increase the inclination of this surface. Okay, by some amount, by some angle theta. Due to this inclination, actually this body should slide in this direction, right? This is the self-weight acting in downward direction W. If I resolve this, one force will be in this direction and another force will be exactly two perpendicular forces. So because of this component of force, this body should slide in this direction. But due to the friction between this body and this supporting surface, the frictional force or resisting frictional force will develop here and it will not allow body to move in that direction. Or in other case, what we can do, if I apply some force F here, because of this application of force, there is an frictional force that is developed in the opposite direction. So in somehow the body will not move because of the frictional force developed between the body and the contact surface. So the body remains at the static condition itself, then it is called as a static friction. The friction acting on a body which is at rest is called as a static friction, because even if we apply external forces, even if I apply external forces, in that case also the body will not move, the body will remain in a static condition, then it is called as a static friction. The body is in a static condition because of the frictional force, this is not moving. Now see here, next is the limiting friction. What is the difference between the static friction and limiting friction is, so now I have inclined, okay, same concept I will take. I will increase the inclination by some more amount, okay, because of which this is the body in inclination, the self weight will be acting in downward direction. As this theta increases, this force will keep on increasing, this weight, this is the weight, okay. So this is W, right? If I resolve this, W and W1 will be cos theta, another one will be sin theta, sorry, W sin theta and W cos theta. In this manner the force will keep on increasing with the inclination, okay. Or in other words, what we can do, if I increase the inclination by some more amount, what happens, the body tends to move in this direction, that is this force will keep on increasing in this direction W. This weight, this is the self weight is acting and the component of this weight will go on increasing, okay, because of which the body try to slide over this surface. So what happens, at a particular verge up to some angle theta, the body will remain at a static condition. If we increase a little bit angle, if we increase it by a small amount of angle theta also, the body will start to move in this direction, that is the limiting friction, okay. Or else we will take a flat surface here. I will explain this limiting friction once again. This is the force F acting here, okay. Let us take a 10 kilonewton I am applying. A 10 kilonewton frictional force will develop here. Next what I will do, I will add another 10 kilonewton and I will make it 20 kilonewton. Again the frictional force will also reach to 20 kilonewton. Again I will add another 10 kilonewton and make it 30 kilonewton. Again the frictional force will reach to 30 kilonewton. This is the maximum friction that can develop between this body and contact surface. Even if I make the applied force as 31 kilonewton, that is 30 kilonewton is the limiting friction, even by small amount, even 30.001, even a small increment in the applied force will make the body will start to move in this direction. So what is the limiting friction? The friction up to which the force or the friction acting on a body which is just on the verge of sliding is called as a limiting friction. Okay, the resistance offered between this contact surface and the body, the up to which that force, the force up to which the contact surface and the body will resist the applied force, so that the body will not move. That is the limiting friction. Even a just increment in the load beyond the limiting friction, then the body start to move in this direction. This is the limiting friction. Next, dynamic friction. Okay, so as you know, there is the friction is between any two contacts. Or friction will be in every body or everywhere where the two surfaces comes in contact. So dynamic friction is nothing but see, once the body starts to move in this direction also, what happens? There is a friction between this contact surface and the body. Even the body is moving in some direction, there is a friction between these two. For example, I am applying some 30 kilonewton. Let us take 20 kilonewton is the frictional force developed. So the body is moving only because of this additional 10 kilonewton. Okay, actually, for example, let us take, due to application of this 30 kilonewton, if frictional force is absent, the body may move with 30 kilometer per hour. But what is happening here is due to the development of a frictional force, the body is only moving with 10 kilometer per hour. There is a loss of 20 kilometer per hour because of this frictional force. The body is moving, but there is a development of a frictional force when the body is in motion. The friction acting on a body which is actually in motion is called as a dynamic friction. Okay. Next is a dry friction. If these two contact surfaces, okay, when the body is moving, the friction developed is a dynamic friction. If these two contact surfaces are dry surfaces, these two surfaces are dry, then it is called as a dry friction. The friction acting on a body when the contact surfaces are dry and there is a tendency of a relative motion is called as a dry friction, or it is even called as a Coulomb friction. Next is a fluid friction. So if between these two contact surfaces, if we apply some grease or some oil, that reduces the friction by some amount because of its viscosity and by making the surfaces smooth. Let us see those parts later. So the friction that is developed between two surfaces in which the contact surface is having some fluid to reduce the friction. Okay, fluid friction is the friction acting on a body when the contact surfaces are lubricated is called as a fluid friction. Okay, what happens in bicycles? Okay, bicycle wheel, here there are ball bearing. Okay, this wheel will rotate on these ball bearings. So usually these ball bearings are lubricated. Okay, by applying some grease, they will lubricate these ball bearings so that the friction is reduced and this wheel will rotate smoothly. Okay, so friction will come in every aspect of our life, but we reduce it by one or another means. So kindly remember what are the types of friction here. One is static friction, that is the friction that the frictional force that is developed when the body is at rest. Limiting friction is the friction up to which or the verge at which the body starts to move is called as limiting friction. So there is a limit up to which the frictional force will make the body to be in a static condition. After that, what happens? The body will start to move even is gentle increase in the force. That force itself is called as limiting friction. Next is dynamic friction, that is the frictional force that is developed when the body is moving. Dry friction, if the two contact surfaces are dry, then it is called as dry friction. If the contact surfaces are lubricated, then it is called as a fluid friction. So In the next session we will see laws of friction and static and dynamic friction. What are these conditions? We will see in the next video. So by now we are done with the friction and type of friction, limiting friction. We are done with this. So in next video we will see laws of friction and what is this static and dynamic friction. Thank you.